All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of TnT Knows It All Sports. You're your host, Ty, along with my man over there.
Thomas, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing? It's a Saturday evening, and
Yeah.
we're enjoying ourselves. We're gonna talk. It's been about 2 weeks. We've been a little busy, but a
hmm
lot to catch up. Getting a little adult beverage, guys. So you're welcome to join me.
hmm
Well, I need one when we talk about the NBA NBA draft, but we'll talk about the topics. But so it should
Yes,
be
sir.
exciting.
Yes, sir. We got a couple. It's gonna be an NBA special edition. So we're gonna talk about the NBA playoffs, which just for the record, this is May 27th. It was Memorial Day weekend. There is one series still left. We'll talk about that in a second. So we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, recap of what happened in the conference semis really quick, and then talk about the conference finals. And then we're also going to talk about the NBA draft. The high level, what happened with the lottery and also some potential prospects. So first thing let's talk about is the NBA playoffs. So at this point right now, everybody knows or should know that we have one team in the finals, that is the Denver Nuggets. And literally 10 minutes ago, what we saw was Boston drive this to a game seven with between the Miami Heat. Um, so we're gonna backtrack really quick to see how these teams got there. And first, I want to start real quick. I mean, we saw that Denver beat Phoenix. There's really not much to talk about. Once what's the name got hurt, Chris Paul,
It was over.
there
Yeah.
it was over, right? Like, and
I mean,
Denver's just better than them.
were there Vegas odds of what Chris Paul is going to get hurt? Like it was probably like
And
what 10-1.
I have to say this, and it's on the record. I'm glad we're recording this. You warned me, man, because I said, look, I thought Phoenix would win, but I was assuming a healthy Chris Paul. You like, you think Chris Paul's gonna be healthy? I'm like,
Right.
well, I'm basing this off of him being healthy,
Yeah,
and he was not. So, um, Denver,
he's never healthy, but
no, he's
anything
not,
else.
and
I
it
know I'm a
definitely hurt
Rockets
them.
fan, as you can
Yeah,
see.
that's
So
true. He cost you guys a
he,
ring.
yes,
Yep. 3-2 against the man. They had him. So anyway, that series was over. And then the other series was the Lakers and the Warriors. And I will say that, and I said it then, I thought the winner of the Suns Nuggets series was going to beat the Lakers Warriors series. And here's why. Watching those two series was like watching a varsity team versus an eighth grade team.
oh
And it
yeah,
might sound bad. I understand it's the Lakers and Warriors, and they're the Premier League and Premier teams, and ESPN was trying to hype it up. But really, those guys were playing bad basketball. The Warriors couldn't make any shots in the lane because they were afraid. They have no inside game whatsoever, zero, like negative inside game. And yet Anthony Davis, who didn't have to guard anyone, so he was just staying in the paint, and they just crowded three-point shooters. And Klay Thompson decided not to show up, and that was it. Like
right,
you're not beating most teams, you know. So they went from playing the team that scored had the worst interior defense in the Kings and still drove them to game seven to the team that had the best interior defense in the Lakers.
right.
That's why they left. Anything you want to say about Golden State and the
Mm,
Lakers? Not really.
I mean, LeBron won, but he got
Yeah, he
swept the
did.
next round, so who cares?
He
All
did, man.
right.
That game six performance was a beast. I
Yeah,
would give
yeah.
him
I
that.
mean, I'll give LeBron credit. He
Yeah.
got swept the next round, but I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true. I mean, that's because they really weren't good.
yeah,
Um, then the East, yeah, didn't want to talk too much about it, but my Knicks. I would say I was very hurt because I thought there was a couple things that we could have done to adjust. But after a day or two of watching, the series was over, I actually was really proud of them. I mean, they fought hard. That game six, though, was right there for the taking. Jalen Brunson carrying them and then makes that mistake at the end. It's tough because I actually thought they matched up well with Boston, who ended up winning the next series, being down 3-2. Philadelphia having the opportunity to close out at home, up by
Right.
two with like 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and folded.
Right.
Um, so hey, and then there's a lot of downfall for that, and of course Boston destroyed them in Game 7, which I figured would happen. Um, and so you end up with Boston and Miami. Miami up 3-0, which was up 3-0, which I think was kind of fool's gold a little bit, right? Like game one, they should have lost. But Missoula, who decides to allow a 45-point third quarter without calling a timeout. They went on a 17 or 19-0 run, whatever it was. No timeout whatsoever. Just let's let them play. I mean, that's just terrible coaching. So they lost game one where they shouldn't have lost. They actually outplayed them for the majority of the game. Game two and three, they got their butts whooped.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, is Miami, even though Miami is good and they it's hard to beat them. You have to beat them. Are they that good? And I thought no. So figured Boston would be able to win one game and then get home, probably take another. And then this was the game. This game six. I was like, this is game seven really for both teams. If Boston wins this somehow, I think we're about to see history.
Oh
And
yeah.
we just saw it.
You talking about history of winning when you're down 3-0, right?
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane, Thomas. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of crazy.
Oh, I wish I was in Vegas again.
Yeah,
I mean, I would now I would have actually would have bet on that because what was it? The odds were I think 16-1. So you put $100 on, you win 1,600,
yeah,
right? So I mean,
Hmm.
I would have just put I would have put
Yeah.
$100 down. But yeah, I mean, I hate Boston and I
I
hate
know me
Miami.
too.
I hate ball.
I
So
hate
who
him.
cares? Yeah, I hope Denver sweeps them, whoever he.
Yeah, I do too.
But let me go back to the Knicks. So the
Yeah,
Knicks, Julius Randle. I mean, is he? Did he give his money back? Some of his paycheck?
yeah,
Okay, because he,
trash.
yeah, he think does he think he's LeBron? Like he likes to dribble the
Yes,
ball up? I don't get him.
yes.
So the Knicks need just to. So I was talking. I have a bunch of Knicks friends, right?
Hmm.
You're one of them, of course, but I have other friends who are diehard Knicks fans.
Hmm.
When was the last time you actually had a superstar, like an actual superstar? It's been a
Carmelo.
while.
Yeah, Carmelo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it's been a while, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Carmelo,
2000, right,
like,
2014, 15. That's like
right,
eight,
right.
9 years. Right.
Yeah, and when I say a while, you got to remember New York, LA, right? Those teams should have superstars I would say every couple of years, right?
Hmm.
Because they're the meccas of basketball, right? The
Hmm.
Lakers, the Knicks, the Celtics, also the Celtics
Hmm.
can't.
Hmm.
And just it seems like the Knicks are kind of lost in the shuffle. I don't know if it's ownership or whatever it is.
Oh,
Probably.
oh, so you don't know its ownership. It is guaranteed its ownership.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Dolan
what
is the worst owner
I
ever.
didn't want to call them out, but yeah, I
That's
mean,
right. I will call him out. He is the
yeah,
worst owner ever.
yeah. No, well, there, Daniel Snyder over there.
He's on that.
So,
If you look at the Knicks history, the Knicks are if they weren't playing in New York, you would look at them as the Sacramento Kings, the Clippers, the Detroit Lions, the
Timber.
Browns. They're the
Okay,
Timberwolves. They're that franchise, and they've been like that for
okay,
years. They stink. We stink as a
yeah, that's
franchise. It's
true.
because of him as the owner. Since he became the
Right.
owner, we've been trash.
Yeah, and I was telling my friend, and he said Carmelo, and I was like, okay,
Mhm.
after Carmelo, who?
Yeah,
And
nobody.
then yeah, that's, and they traded for Carmelo, but the Knicks just need to trade for a superstar.
Yeah.
I just,
We
I
don't
know it's
it's
hard.
not even that here's my thing. It's not that we need like of course, yeah, it would be nice to have Kevin Durant or like,
They
Jason
should have got
Tatum
Donovan
or
Mitchell. I mean,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd been nice. But like I think if we had Jalen Brown on
Yeah.
this team, we would go to the finals. Like it doesn't need to be somebody that's gonna score, has to score, 40 a night or something.
But
Because
Yeah,
yeah,
Jalen
Jalen
Brown's a
Brooks,
superstar.
Jalen,
I,
you mean Jalen Brown or Jalen Brunson?
no, you talking about Jalen Brown or Jalen
Yeah,
Brunson?
I'm talking about Jalen Brown. I
Yeah,
don't know if
Jalen
he's
Brown is a super. I mean, people consider a superstar. He leaves Boston. He's going to be a superstar. He's in shadow too.
I could see that. I could see that.
So that's where I would say. But other than that, I mean, Denver is going through everybody like
Yeah.
bad Mexican, like just running through everybody, bro. Like, I mean, they're on a mission. I
Uh,
mean, they're on a they're an absolute mission.
yeah.
Uh, Jamal Murray, if you guys didn't know who he was, I know he's been injured, but good
Hmm.
lord, he's trying to get paid. So
He's the truth. He's letting folks know who he was. He's like, look, you might have forgotten me in the bubble, but I'm nice. And
right,
I will say this, I've had a couple discussions like, see, this is now why Jokic is, the best player, blah, 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 blah. That guy is definitely great. Like, I'm not knocking, Jokic. He is a great player. He does make his teammates better. I mean, he's got the ball in his hands the majority of the time. He's a point center. But they got
right.
some players. I was like, you can't watch the Nuggets play and be like, there's only one player. That is not the case with them.
No,
You
no,
got Aaron
no.
Gordon, who was a top five or whatever pick was, number seven pick, and we had a discussion about him being potentially a bust. He's your like fifth best player,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he's pretty good. Like he's guarding LeBron, he scores in the paint, he hits a couple, he gets you like 13, 14 points a game. That's your fifth best player.
Oh yeah, and Porter Jr.
Michael
is
Porter Jr. is
real
crazy.
Joe.
Right. If he wasn't on that
Right.
team, he'd be averaging 24 points a game because
Oh yeah, as long
uh,
as he stays healthy.
right,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And then Jamal
Yeah,
Murray,
I mean,
who I think I actually do think is their most important player because Jokic is great, but Jamal Murray is what makes them championship level because that dude is
uh,
like ice
oh, he
cold.
playing. He's paying for he's his contract year.
Yeah.
He's paying for some money. Him and Jalen Brown
Hmm.
are and trying to get that. I don't think he's gonna get super max money, Murray, but he's
Yeah.
gonna get some money. So
Yeah, that's true.
160, 180 mil. So
That guy dropped 30 points in the first half. I was like, what is
he
happening?
averaged 30 points,
Oh
32
yeah.
points.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
So
killing, man. So
but
yeah, yeah, they're
we'll
they're
see.
they're tough. I think I mean I'm happy for them because we talked about them, when I did the NBA preview and I said I think that people are sleeping on Denver because of the past and I said I'm more convinced of Denver now because of their defense. And that's what if anyone watched them against the Lakers, that's why they won.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon
Lakers.
makes a big difference.
Yeah, man. KCP.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Bruce Brown or whatever. Like they
yeah,
picked up players that actually play defense. So KCP and Bruce Brown are tough, hard-nosed guys that can still make a couple shots. That was the huge difference versus four. And I love Monte Morris, but Monte Morris is small point guard. Like he's not a lockdown defender type guy, and so that would hurt them. When it came down
yeah.
to
Well,
getting tough stops and stuff. Now they can get stops. Like they'll beat you 120 like that. What happened to the Lakers? They beat you 128 to 120, and then next game they'll beat you 94 to like 100.
right, right,
They,
right.
they, that means you're a great team.
Hmm.
So, and to close that one out, Lakers. And I tried, times. That's why I'm only a little set because clearly we're busy. I was out of town. You had stuff going on. I wish we had recorded this last week. I told everyone that wanted to talk to me that the Lakers had zero chance of winning this series. I was like, hopefully, I was like, they should win a game or two. I'm giving it to them because, they got LeBron and AD. They couldn't even do that. They probably should
Right,
have won game one,
right,
and they
right.
probably should have won game four, probably. But the other
Hmm.
two, you know, they're just they're just not good enough. And it doesn't mean that they weren't good, but I remember I picked them. You were like surprised. Look, I picked them to beat Memphis because of matchups. I thought the Warriors would win because I thought the Warriors were going to be able to adjust, but they didn't. But I figured that was going to be a 7-game series. So I'm not disrespecting the Lakers. It was matchup based. If you pluck the Lakers out and put them where the Suns were, Suns are in the conference finals as well. And the Lakers
Right.
probably would be out in the first round against the Clippers. I'm just saying it just happened to be matchups for them, and it worked out. But glad the NBA got to see the Lakers and LeBron for a while before they got spanked by the other side, which we saw, I was like,
Right.
this other side is better. The Clippers Sun series was the high most one of the most high level basketball I've seen, even the
Oh
first
yeah.
round. And then the Nuggets Suns, you're watching these guys, Durant and Booker getting 40 some points each, hitting crazy shots. I was like, this is high, high, high level basketball. Lakers ain't gonna be ready for it when the next series, and they were.
Right.
So peace out.
Yeah, I think Boston's gonna probably get. I mean, that's going for your mental aspect. First off,
Hmm.
I mean, kudos to Miami for even going this
Facts.
far. I
Facts.
mean, like they barely made the playoffs.
I know. They're right. Right.
Uh,
They almost
they
lost. They were
lost.
down in the fourth quarter in the play-in, the
Uh,
second play-in.
yeah, they lost Tyler Hero, who by
Hmm.
the way, I didn't. He looked like a rapper on the side, a fake rapper. He's from Wisconsin. I
Yeah.
mean, change up your wardrobe, young buck. But anyways, but they got like 300 drafted. Look at their squad. Their squad looked like the open gym teams we used to play. We played. So take out Jimmy John Butler, right? I mean, and they're doing, Vincent,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Max, the one of the twins for the what's the name, Martin brothers. What I forgot
Hmm.
which one, Caleb or
Hmm.
whatever it was.
Yep. Max
Duncan, who,
Struess.
yeah,
Yeah.
Matt
Caleb
Stewart,
Martin.
yeah,
Yeah.
Caleb Martin, and Udonis Haslem, who's like 98 years old on the bench. So
Yep.
kudos to them. So,
Yep. Yeah, it's true. I mean, they're the best coach team in the league.
oh
They
yeah, bro,
Everybody knows their role. They play free. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. I know he struggled today, but man, he basically won point 0.3 seconds away winning the game after having a terrible game because he stepped up at the end. Um, but
but
yeah, I don't know what to say about them. I mean, I hate them, so I don't really actually want to give them too much props. But they're good.
okay,
They're a good team. I hate them so much, but they're good. They're a good team. I mean, watching that Knicks series was very frustrating because I was like, we are clearly more talented than them, but they execute way better than us. We got
right,
shots that went in. It was very, very hard. Even Boston, you watch them, they're getting difficult shots. The Heat get open shots. And why they're struggling with Boston now is that Boston has finally decided that there's two sides of the ball and they're playing defense like they played last year, which is why they
right,
got to the finals. And if
right,
Boston plays like that, they're winning the championship. Period. Even with get Denver, who will give them a challenge, but Boston's defense is why they win. But they have to remember to do that. But that would
right,
be a heck of a wherever the finals is going to be a great finals. Either one of these teams, I think, is going to be a long final. And I think somebody was saying, "Hey, I think Denver's going to sweep whoever wins." It's like, don't get fooled. I was like, you're getting fooled again. That's why I want people to watch this. You're getting fooled that the Lakers were good.
right,
Like,
right, right,
no, they were not. It was matchup based. So the Heat and the Celtics are way better than the Lakers. And you can see that by the body of work. And it's also matchups. They play defense and they also share the ball, so you don't know it is like one dude that's scoring. And they also have another thing that the Lakers don't have. That is D'Angelo Russell. Bum,
right. He was
bum,
missing it.
bum, bum. And I was
Right,
like, if you got to rely on D'Angelo Russell to make key shots for you, because yes, if they when he scores 17 points, they were undefeated.
right, right,
That
right,
means he did not score 17 points one time in this series. Not once. 17. I'm not saying 30. 17.
right,
Couldn't do it.
right.
And
Hmm.
that's why they're home. So, anyways, we'll see. I can't wait for next week. We'll talk about the NBA Finals starts on Thursday. So then we could talk about what happened game one next week. But anything else you want to place? I would just say this has been great playoffs.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
this is it's not been predictable. Nobody's know, usually we're like this team's gonna be playing this team. I did a little NBA bracket. No, I have one possibility left, and that's Boston. I
Right,
did have Phoenix, but it was either Phoenix or Denver, and I struggled, and I did
right.
pick Phoenix. So,
Well, and everyone loves the Cinderella, so
hmm
Miami going that far is great for the NBA. I
hmm
don't know what the ratings look like. That would be great to see, but
hmm
I'm assuming they're probably pretty high,
Yeah, I think so. I would think so.
especially yeah.
All right.
All
So,
right,
yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So all
yeah.
right. So next topic. is the NBA draft, man. So,
Yeah, my
uh,
favorite time of the year.
yeah. So go ahead, give a recap of what happened in this draft, Thomas. Like what? I mean, not draft, the lottery. So you could,
Oh
I
yeah,
think you can
yeah.
probably describe it better than me.
Oh, for the lottery, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first the NFL needs to adapt the NBA lottery. I actually like the NBA lottery because it's hard
Hmm.
to tank, right? Think about it.
Hmm.
The Rockets tanked on purpose. I mean, I don't even know who half the players were towards the end of the year. And then they went on a winning streak, which made us sense,
Yeah.
but whatever. And then
Yeah.
you already know Detroit, like Detroit lost like their best player, Caleb. So
But they
I
also, by the way, do you know
yeah.
that they purposely told Bogdanovich
Yeah.
to not play? He was
Yeah, oh
healthy.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, yeah. So
They
yeah,
said, nope, can't play.
right, which is, by the way, the NBA is actually trying to work on something like that. But I like the lottery, and it's proved it, right? This year. So with the lottery, of course, when was the last time San Antonio's been in the lottery? You know, I had to look
Yeah.
that up. Like actually been in the top five. They get
Yeah.
a number one pick this year, so they get a number one pick. Number two goes to the Bobcats. Oh no, not Bobcats. What it called? The Hornets, Charlotte
Right.
Hornets.
Right.
Used to be called the Bobcats. I'm going back to Lonzo Warning days. But then Portland's number three, number four, the Rockets, and number five would be the Detroit Pistons. The Rockets and the Pistons.
Hmm.
3 years in a row, they're in the top five for the NBA draft. And then number
Yeah.
six is Orlando, which
Yeah.
also has been the last 3 years been in there. Now, honestly, guys, I always tell people in the NBA that once you get past eight, it's kind of a little murky, right?
Right.
So once you get past eight, that's why there's so many people getting traded around, picks getting traded. Uh, but you'll get some picks. So we'll talk through that. But before we start, why I
Hmm.
love one thing that I like to do is I love to talk about the draft because
Yeah.
there's a difference between drafting a player and what
Hmm.
they actually do when they actually are in the league, right?
Yeah.
So what I have to tell my friends all the time, which would piss me off all the damn time. There's a difference of being a prospect and actually
Hmm.
being producing, right? So actually
Yes.
producing, right? So I want to explain to people prospect meaning like we're actually seeing before we get into it. Victor
Hmm.
is one of the best prospects that we've ever seen in
Yep.
sports. Okay, we're not even talking about in sports prospect, right? So when we talk about prospect, we're talking about people we haven't seen before between the height, agility, speed, fluidity, shooting,
Hmm.
just people like you're like
Rebounding, defense,
rebounding,
block shots. I mean,
block shots in football, arm strength, mental awareness, IQ,
yep.
anticipation, baseball, hitting the ball, right, fielding, all the other stuff in hockey. Speed, shooting,
Yep.
dribbling, soccer, all this
Yep.
stuff, right? So I always tell people it's like the creative player that you have in a sports game, right? So
Yeah.
here's a few names I'm gonna give you guys across the sports world, right? So let's
Hmm.
start with the NFL first. Prospects in the 40 years: John Elway, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck,
Hmm.
Cam Newton, Adrian Peterson,
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence. We're talking about prospects. We're not talking about, well, every 10 years, like a Miles Garrett, right? Because there's a guy named Julius Peppers. And before that, you could
Yeah.
say Mario Williams, right? So I'm talking about, wow, you see them and you're like, I've never seen anybody like that with that,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
right. And then we can go to hockey. Sidney Crosby,
Hmm.
Connor McDavid,
David. Yep.
right? Yeah, those are just guys you're like, okay, I've never seen any guys like that.
Right.
Baseball, Ken Griffey, Alex Rodriguez, Bryce
Yeah.
Harper, right?
Yep.
Those are guys we're
Right.
talking about.
And
We're talking about,
Steven Strasburg.
yeah, I was going to Steven Strasburg, right?
Hmm.
Guys, I mean, if you're going to go back a little bit, Daryl Strawberry, 1980, but
Hmm.
those are guys we're talking about. The WNBA, Brittany Gear, right? Griner,
Brooke
sorry.
Griner. Yep.
Yeah, so Brittany
Maya Moore.
Maya Moore, right?
Yeah.
You can say
Diana
the same thing.
Taurasi.
Yep. Or Candace Parker and
Hmm.
Lisa Leslie. It's prospects we don't see, right? And then I'll go to the NBA, right? The NBA prospects, guys. Prospects, I'll say over and over again because people get really caught up.
Yeah.
Ralph Sampson,
Hmm.
Patrick Ewing, Kim Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Yao Ming. People forget about Yao Ming. Yeah,
Hmm.
go to the tape. So, all right, Yao Ming.
Yep.
And now you're like, well, what about Steph Curry? Okay, guys, again, prospect. Steph Curry is going to be a Hall of Famer,
Hmm.
but two point guards got picked before him, Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn, bro. So if he was
Johnny
really
Flynn.
that, so if he was really that great, right? And then you can say, what about Derrick Rose? Guys, he couldn't shoot.
Hmm.
So we're talking about prospects, right? And it said Kevin Durant, he's there, but he's like, you can even argue Michael Beasley was a type of player when it comes to skill set, right? I'm
Hmm.
just so this is where a lot of people I always get frustrated with people when they call about like actual
Hmm.
prospects, right? Victor is one of a kind, guys. One of a kind, right?
Facts.
And he's 7'5". He can shoot like I'm not gonna say Steph Curry, but he can
Hmm.
shoot like a shooting guard.
Hmm.
Like, and I'm talking about he can spot up and shoot. He can dribble. He can do the pick and roll. He's a lob guy. He's a defender. Like he actually can block your shots.
Yeah.
So he's the type of guy that you're going to start. You want to be surprised to see a stat line of 20, 10, 9, and 4, which means 25 points, 10 rebounds, 8 blocks, and four steals. I'm just this is what I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and 9 assists, right? So you wouldn't be surprised with that type of player, right? So and before I let you go into that one, but it's like Victor and then it's like
Yeah.
Victor and there's everybody else. And I
Yeah.
like I like the other prospects, right?
Me too.
Your guy, who I'm gonna say,
Scoot.
Scoop, right? Scoop. He's good. And then the twins, the Thompson twins, right? But they're
Hmm.
just it's like Victor. And he's just one of the guys, he's one of the guys that and by the way, I forgot a guy, and I apologize. Shaquille O'Neal from the NBA.
You
He's
did
one of the
mention.
guys. Oh,
You
did I say
mentioned.
that?
Yeah,
Oh, I
you
mean, not
said.
the Shaquille. I mean, Dwight Howard. So,
Yes,
so,
yes,
so,
yes,
okay,
yes, yes, yes.
so,
Dwight
so,
Howard.
so,
Yep.
so,
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. So
Yeah.
he's one of the guys that you see. You're like, wow. Like I haven't seen anybody. And that's for me was like Dwight Howard. Like, you could say LeBron, but I'm talking about the latest one. When I saw
Hmm.
Dwight Howard, I was like, good lord, this dude can literally jump and touch his head can touch the top of the rim. He can run up down. He's like run the gazelle like a gazelle.
Hmm. Hmm.
He can actually grab the ball. He's stronger than everybody. He just was a one of a kind prospect. Too bad that rumors had it. He had some stuff going on that mentally didn't help him. But I won't talk about it just because I don't want to get canceled. But but
I was
but
like, don't do it, don't do it.
but that's how it is. And so yeah, like I said, I'll let you go in. But there's so much more I could say about Victor. But I'll say this to all the people, guys in our chats, just watch his last. Don't watch the highlights. I tell people all the time because the highlights get caught up into them.
Yeah.
Actually, watch 2 or 3 games in the league he's playing in right now.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, is one of the toughest leagues. He's in the French league,
Yep.
right? So he's in one of the tougher leagues: Spain, France, and Italy. You play in those 3 leagues, right? You play in those 3 leagues, but he plays against oh my goodness, what's the team called against the Italian team? Forgot the name, but he plays against them. And watch the highlights. And you're just gonna be like, and there's like 2 NBA prospects in that damn Italian
Hmm.
team for the
Hmm.
next 2 years, right? So this is my
No, I
thoughts.
think so. Yeah, I think I couldn't said anything more. I think clearly there's a reason why the guy was like, yeah, 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 like screaming up there, the San Antonio guy when he won the
Oh
lotto.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm like, you literally, I mean, again, we're all basing this on health. This is kind of like, me saying like he has no history of being unhealthy. So it's not like, it's far-fetched to think he would be fine. He hasn't been hurt.
Right,
But if he, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I said this, if he is healthy, he's gonna average next season, and I'm telling you now, that's why I like doing these things. He's going to average 25 points and 9 rebounds a game as a rookie.
right.
Telling
Which has
you
never been done.
right now, which has never been done. LeBron didn't do that. He will average that, and it's not because it isn't not just because he's great or whatever. It's like when you watch him play, he's gonna get easy points at the rim because
Right.
he's so quick off his feet and he's agile. Like you see him tipping, just getting like little tip layups, and he- it, he's gonna get fast breaks. He's still, shoots 45% from three. It's just
Yeah.
and they're not even good, San Antonio. They probably won't even make the playoffs, but they'll be
Right.
competitive. I mean, they'll be fun to watch. So, but yeah, this draft. I mean, I also feel a certain way about the draft because the Knicks don't have any picks, like none. this
Right.
draft at all, like first or second round. So I've kind of been like, whatever. But prospect wise, I don't, I think we'll get more into it later. But there's a couple guys I like that are a little later on, on the scale. But yeah, I think it's a Brandon Miller, Victor, Scoot thing, and I feel bad for Portland of all teams because they have to make a decision. Like, why would you draft Scoot Henderson when you have Dame? But if you don't draft him, you're an idiot
Right.
because like the to me the drop off between Brandon Miller, Scoot, and Victor, of course Victor, Victor's
Mhm.
not in the draft, to my opinion, and then the draft actually starts at two for people that are human, like
Right.
Brandon Miller, Scoot, and then you said the Thompson twins who are cool, but Scoot is gonna come in, he's gonna like, I think he's gonna come in and like produce pretty early, like
Yeah.
he can play, but
Combo guard. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but how do you have both? So if I'm Portland, I either trade that pick and try to get somebody that can play, or I trade Dame and draft Scoot. Like you might as well rebuild. You already got a young guy in Shaden Sharp, who's your two guard that you can grow with Scoot in your backcourt, and you have what's his face?
Simons.
Yep, Simons, Anthony
Okay.
Simons. Yep. So you can
We averaged
go young.
21 points a game, bro. He was.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing good. I'm like, so
Yeah,
you
right.
already go young, do Dame a favor, trade him to like, I don't know, Philly or something. I mean,
Yeah.
figure something out. Get Tyrese Maxey for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You're young.
I agree with you. Portland has too many guards, bro. Like if they get
Yeah, they
him,
do.
it's like
There's no point. Now you're gonna have like Dame and CJ part two or something. I don't know.
right.
Bunch of
Right.
6'1" cats.
Yeah. But I will say this.
Hmm.
How did San Antonio get the first pick? I don't want to be conspiracy theorist here, but
Mm.
it's like why how do you get the international players? Bro? Like
Yeah.
you got another one. Like it just like what are we doing? As they were probably like, well, the Rockets fucked up with Yao Ming and
Hmm.
Samson, so freaking who the hell is gonna? There's no ratings in Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte ain't that
Yeah.
ratings.
They
We
got
don't.
they got
And
they got
Michael
Michael
Jordan is
Jordan.
probably
Yeah.
gonna yell at him.
Yep,
Yeah, they probably
exactly.
yell at him. And Portland, yeah, you have should have picked Jordan instead of or Sam Bowie, right? So,
And you should have picked Kevin Durant instead of Greg Oden.
sure, Greg
So you
Oden,
got
right?
so you have
And
two.
you messed up Brandon Roy. So
Oh
Brandon Roy
yeah, that's
need.
right. I forgot.
So,
And then and
so.
then they sat Brandon Roy behind up there at the draft. At the lottery, like,
Right,
I'm
right.
okay, guys. I'm okay, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, that's messed up.
I was kind of low key upset. Victor, when the Rockets got picked, he was like, was pick four. He's like, yes, he didn't want to go to the Houston. I was like, oh damn. But
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You guys got it. He's like, look, I'm trying to score, and I seen
right,
Jalen Green, and
hey,
he ain't passing. That's
right,
not
right.
in his vocabulary, which is why I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna pick Amen probably.
Which is
The
good.
one they need a distributor. He's
Any
a distributor.
defender, and he
Yes.
defends like they
Yeah.
no scoring. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
But again, it's like I'll tell everybody. Yeah, the thing is, everyone's like always hyped up. Well, we never seen anybody like that.
Hmm.
Now remember the conversation, and I don't want to call our friend out because I don't like to call people out, but Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to another sport. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, look at how bad he was the rookie year. I was like, well, he had Urban Meyer and he had me
Yeah.
and you at wide receiver. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I know.
DJ Chuck, come on, bro. And now he came back. so, so,
Yeah.
so, so, so is this guy is the real deal. Like, I watched
Yeah.
him. And again, the second, it's just when I watch him, I'm like, how the hell do you exist, bro? Like what when he hit that
Mhm.
jump shot in when he played a night team and he hit
Yeah.
that corner three fading away, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's over.
Yeah. And I know these are, like I said, there's plays that doesn't define you. But again, I can't get out of my head how do you shoot a 3-pointer contested three and then get your own rebound in the air, a 3-pointer. You shoot the three, the ball bounces off the rim, you catch it, from the 3-point line. You got to take several catches in the air and dunk it.
Right,
That
right,
has never happened in the history of basketball. I
right,
never seen that. I don't know
right,
how. I still don't even know how you do that. Get it
right,
in the
right,
air off the
right.
your own miss. Your own miss.
It's wild. And stop the Chet comparison, homegirl. Like,
Oh
come
no,
on. They're like,
no.
oh, no, Chet, first of all, ankles, Chet ankles is this, bro. Come on, like this right here. Go right. No, let's just be real. Like if the man's like an anorexic woman. Like, let's just be honest. Like, come on. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
if you blow on him, you might have fractured a limb,
yeah,
right? Come on, man. Like,
they're not even close to the
yeah,
same. Only thing that they have comparable to them is their height.
yeah,
And Chet is agile, but he's not this guy because Chet can shoot, but you don't look at him. His fluid, he doesn't. He's not as fluid
no, no.
as what's his name. That's why you would see Chet in college, where people would abuse him. Again, it's college. He's not playing pros like Victor. Victor's playing grown men and
Right.
making them look like they're bums.
And the biggest problem is matchup. Who's going to guard him? You try to put a small forward on him, a 6'8", he going to shoot over you. You
Yep.
put a center, he going to blow right by. It's going to
Yeah.
be. It's going to
Yeah.
be.
He's
So
he
good.
he's Kevin Durant, but I mean, I'd say he can, but the comparison is Kevin Durant, but 3.5 inches taller,
Right.
which
With better defender, like
yes,
defense
and a
wise.
better defender, right? So like literally, I'm thinking the only guy in the league that could probably guard him is going to be Kevin Durant, and this will be the first time Kevin Durant is guarding somebody that he's shorter than,
Right.
if you think about
Well,
it.
well, right. Well, I mean, I took him off the list on purpose
Yeah.
because he just pisses me off. His name is Ben Simmons.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a prospect that 6'10" dribbles, but the man
Mm,
can't shoot a layup. Literally, like the man can make a layup, but the Ben Simmons probably could have guard if Ben
yeah.
Simmons actually got out, actually played basketball, like actually play, he could actually guard. He's actually great. He's a great defender. I mean,
Yeah, he was.
so
He was kind of shook
wait,
this year. He was getting murdered.
yeah,
But his
Shook
whole
is
head,
understatement.
yes, yeah, his head game, yeah, his head
Yeah,
game
yeah,
is
yeah.
not.
But
No,
I didn't put
no,
him on there because he pissed me off. I
yeah,
thought he's gonna be the real deal. I was like, oh, he's gonna be this guy, but
yeah, no. But yeah, man, it's gonna be
right,
interesting. Again, I would normally not care about the draft, but I'm really interested to see. I might even actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I might be in Vegas when the summer league is. I have to look it up. I think I will be there. I'm gonna
oh,
try
you
to
gotta
catch
watch
a
it.
game. Yep. Oh yeah.
He
Actually,
might be, he
oh,
might have this. He might
I
have
wasn't
this
sure
whole
if I
game.
was going now. I actually thank you, Tom. I'm glad we've had this conversation. I'm supposed to possibly go to a wedding. I'm like trying to go. I haven't booked it yet. I was like, I don't know, because I'm going to be traveling the week after. I am now definitely going because that is in Vegas. It is in the first week of July. The I will be at a game for sure. Yes,
Right,
so I'm
right.
excited.
Yeah,
All right.
but you think he'll play? You think he'll play in the summer league?
hmm I think so. He
Okay,
won't play
because
many games. He'll play one or two.
okay, like because sometimes they, but there should be a rule, and this NBA draft should go to start number two. I
Yeah.
don't even know why we start number one. Like
No.
it's already
Yep.
on the dock, right?
Right. Because we
So
don't even because even number two, we assume that Charlotte's going to take Brandon, Miller, but Scoot, I think, is a better prospect. It's going to be tough when you see those
you
guys.
put ball in the second,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
shooting guard.
I wouldn't, but man, this in NBA, it's kind of hard. You got this talent, man. I'm not saying Miller is not. I think Brandon Miller's going to be a good player. I think he's like Paul George type player. Like you
Right,
could see
right.
that's his comp, which is pretty good. If you have a
What?
Paul George, you'll be all right. But
Yeah,
man,
the
Scoot is
home.
he's gonna be with those combo guards again. He's gonna be in the like
Right, right,
I see like the Dame, not saying he's Dame, but that whole like Dame,
right.
Donovan Mitchell,
Well,
that type of guy.
right.
So
Well, the NBA, the NBA players get traded in the draft, like top players
yeah.
you see that all the time.
Mhm.
Luca trade, like they're always getting traded like around, right? You don't ever see that. You don't ever see that at the NFL, but NBA, you
Right.
draft someone or two, you might just package them and trade them later, later on. So
Yeah.
if I was Charlotte, I would draft the best prospect, which is Scoop,
Yep.
and then take some. They got some players, combine them And then there's a guy named, and I don't know why he's still in Washington. His name Bradley Bill. He should be on a
Hmm.
different team next year. Somebody
Hmm.
need to get him, but so we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. They got Terry Rozier. Might as well trade him. I mean, what is he doing there? He's a pretty
I
good
forgot he
player.
was still in the league.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
good
yeah. He's
player.
good.
Just
Yeah,
plays for yeah, just plays for the Hornets. Like, and then you got
right,
Bridges, but that's a whole other discussion for another day. Who
right,
still in the league, but did not
right.
get to play.
Yeah,
But all right. So yeah, man. So okay, so let's finish. We'll finish off with a final thought. I can go first because it's not gonna be
yeah.
a long one. Um, so my final thought this week, it's kind of well, it's really one main one, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to I have this shirt on for the US under 20 men right now in the
Oh yeah,
World
they're
Cup
looking.
in Argentina.
Oh, they
Looking
look
very
good.
good, looking good. 3-0 to start.
Before you say, look at the names. Not a lot of Americans. Go ahead.
Not at all. I was watching the game. I was like, is this is US? I'm like, all right.
They're taking
But
that France page, but go.
that's what we need to do, son. But no, but
Yeah.
I'm proud of those boys, man. So we won the group, and the game is Tuesday. The next round game is Tuesday at 1:30. So I'll be watching them. But anyway, that's not my final thought. My final thought is actually about boxing. So a couple things. There was a match, a boxing match last week with Lomachenko versus Haney. And I'm getting sick of boxing, with these judges. Like I don't understand how many times you can watch a match and these judges, I'm like, what are they looking at? Like I've watched boxing since I was 9 years old. Like so many matches with my dad. Like can't even recall. And then since growing up, I'll watch ESPN, like no name guys, just to watch fights. I don't understand sometimes with these big and it's these major fights, these big fights. It's never like the 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 small fights. They always get them right. They don't care. The judges get them right, but these major ones, they can't seem to see the whole card. So I thought it was a draw at the minimum, but Lomachenko had clearly landed more punches and the more effective punches. The one judge had him lose 116 to 112. I'm like, come on, man. There's no possible way that happened. Zero possible way that you could see that fight and think that happened. So that's sad. And I'm not a Lomachenko fan or anything like that. I mean, I think he's a good fighter, but I just want to see people have a fair shake. And so I bring that up because we just heard that the fight I've been waiting for years and years and years and years and years and years is finally coming in July 20 something, which is Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Thank you. Please don't blow it. I'm like, we only got like 2 months for it to happen. Like, please, please, please happen because I'm sick of the promoters not having fighters fight each other. And so I want to see the best versus the best. Um, Maybe we'll talk about that before it happens. But right now, my prediction, I think Terrence Crawford will win. But he better not treat Errol Spence like he treats everybody else. He better not, wait till the fifth round before he starts fighting him, because then he probably might not win. But it's gonna be great, great, great scene, and I'm thankful for boxing, but don't have terrible judges. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna
Right.
probably I don't think they're gonna knock out each other. I think they're both that skilled and they both have that much heart that it's gonna probably go to distance. I want to see us watch the fight, score it properly, and then the judges reflect what we watch. So please, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, do that. All right, that's my final thought.
Well, that's. I mean, I've been waiting for this fight. Where is it? Is it Vegas, right? Or
It
that?
is in
Or is
Vegas.
it?
It is in
My
Vegas.
goodness, I wish I was. I was in Vegas when I lived in Vegas. I was there. I was there for the. I was there for well, so many fights. I mean, Triple G and Canelo
Canelo,
fight,
yeah.
all two of them. It was crazy, but nothing was more crazier than Mayweather and oh my god, what's his name? The
Pacquiao?
U no the USC fight.
Oh, Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Oh man.
That the strip was wild. Even though this fight was terrible, it was
Yeah,
wild.
I could
But I
only
can
imagine.
guarantee you that's going to be crazy. But the first Triple G and Canelo fight,
Mm,
I mean, I went to a watch party, but everything was sold out. It was great. So it should, it'll be great. So
yeah.
yeah, since we're switching sports, I'm going to go to us. I'm going to go to and a little NFL. I know we have a lot of OTAs, and I call a lot of people are so itching NFL. We're making stories up all the time. It's like, guys, it's literally OTAs, and we're talking about how good a prospect looks. But that's besides the point. But I
Right.
do want to talk about a certain gentleman that went off a little bit before on Lamar Jackson. Lamar, you got paid. Good job for you. 5 years, 260 million.
Yep.
However, hold on, my friend. I don't understand. I'm going to read the quote. I really don't understand this quote that you said the other day. I'm very eager to be honest with you guys about the season, about playing with, Odell Beckham, uh, um,
Zay
and then
Flowers,
also Zay Flowers and Richard. Richard should
Rashad
be back,
Bateman.
right? The other
Yeah.
Bateman should be back. I think I told somebody I want to throw for like 6,000 yards with the weapons we have here. I'm not an individual award type of guy, stat watcher. I just want to do that because no one ever done it before, and I feel like I have the weapons to do it. Lamar, you haven't passed for more than 3,300 yards. Let's stick to passing for 4,000 yards. Lamar,
Yeah.
stop. Okay, I get you want to be a better passer and all that, but it takes hard work. I don't understand. This is what I don't understand, guys. I really what's going on. So I don't understand that Lamar was an MVP. Okay, I get that. He was MVP. He had a great year.
Mm,
Stats 3,000 yards. And 30, what was it, 35 touchdowns, right?
yeah. Yeah.
1,000 yards rushing, all that great. He's great. We talk about he wasn't a prospect, but remember talking about players that you haven't seen anybody like that. Okay, great. Like literally we've seen everything. Haven't seen anything like that. But I've watched him, and everyone's going to make the argument. I know a couple of people in our chat rooms that I get. We want to cheer for him, but is he really going to win you games by only passing the ball, guys? I just haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it, and I will refer to two games. The Buffalo Bills, when he had a chance, when again in week, what was it, week 6? He had a
Yeah.
no week
Five,
what
four,
five
five,
five
five,
five
five,
week
five,
five
five.
week five
Yeah.
week 5. You were up 20-1, 20 to 3. Then you had to pass the ball. Do you remember that fourth down pass that he was getting blitzed and he threw it? The guy was wide open in the corner. All you had to say hike and throw to him. It would have been a touchdown. But he couldn't even read the field. And then the Jacksonville game.
Ooh, that was a bad one.
I mean, I'm not going to call them out. Well, Thomas, all the game winners. Okay, I'm waiting. What game winners? What game winners did I see last year that DeMar had? Right,
Yeah. But
passing the ball. So was that?
but his defense will be that he didn't have the weapons he has now. But
Yes, that's great. That's where I'm getting to. I'm glad you say that. But my man is talking about 6,000 yards.
I know that's why I tried not to laugh. Six
So
thousand yards, yeah.
you should have said, hey, I like it. You got paid. You're a
Hmm.
Florida guy. You got a little swag and all that. I get it, and I like cocky people and all that stuff. But how
Hmm.
about say, I'm excited to have these weapons for the first time. We're gonna see something good. I have a new offensive coordinator, everything. But you setting the bar high after getting paid, man. Now you talking about 6,000 yards, never been done before.
Yeah.
Like, come on, fam. Like, listen, like, just come on, bro. Like, like just work on your craft. And I'm telling you right now, Lamar, I'm telling you right now, you got to learn how to pass the ball. And I don't know. I try to Google and see what camps you go to and what off-season workouts you go to. And I can't Google. I can Google Josh Allen. I can Google Joe Burrow. I can even Google Patrick Mahomes. Shit, even Zach Wilson's sorry ass was at some camps, right? But I Google you and I try to figure out what camps, what you do, and I can't find what guy you're working with, what QB guy you're
Hmm.
working with, right?
Right. Right.
And then, Thomas, you're being hard on Lamar. He works with his boys and all that. I mean, why wouldn't you want to work with a quarterback? So
We'll
Lamar,
see.
Lamar, there's a guy on First Things First, Chris Broussard. He always says Bud list. Okay, I'm putting you on my Bud list number one and only one. So I'll have my own Bud list. Lamar, I hope you do well. I really am rooting for you, but you got to stop with all this 6,000 yards. And there's more to the conversation. I don't want to pull it up, but
Hmm.
he was talking about, oh, I'm gonna, I got to stop passing the ball, and I'm confident. Come on, bro. Like just do it on the field. Shut up and
Yeah.
just do it on the field. That's it.
Yeah, I, I don't even know what to say about that. I think he'll do okay, but 6,000 is a stretch, like you said, for a guy that is not. eh, we talk about him all the time. And I told you, like, look, he has improved. I've seen his improvement significantly, but that doesn't mean he's still not. He's not at that level where he thinks he is in 36. I mean, I know 6,000 is hyperbole, but
Right,
like you
right,
said, let's get to four now.
right,
Like, and even that is not amazing, but I would be surprised if he gets to like 4,500, which is probably top seven now, right?
right,
He's
right,
not going to get there, and he shouldn't. He should run the ball. Like
right.
that's his strength. And like if you ask NFL scouts or defensive coordinators, they'll be like, "Hey, did you hear Lamar Jackson's quote that he wants to throw 6,000 yards?" Like, "Oh, thank you, please." They're like,
Right,
I hope they run their offense like that instead of having them run because that's the nightmare. Passing, we good.
right,
Like
right.
we good. We all right with that one.
How about start with this, Ty? How about not be the 28th ranked quarterback when it's seven and a longer on passing downs? How about that?
Yeah.
He's 28th in the league. Okay, so let's start with that.
Oh man,
So,
poor guy, poor
I
guy. You
mean,
know, it's funny. It's funny. I think he wanted also to talk to the media because he had been trying to be quiet because of his deal. Like that's not a good quote. I did, and honestly, I mean, I'm listening to this the first time. I didn't even see it. I don't really have much to say. I mean, that's
there's a
just
lot more. Yeah,
that's
I'm glad he
embarrassing.
got paid. I'm all about
But
people
yeah,
getting
yeah,
paid.
yeah.
But I mean,
And
you just different, man. But
and let's talk about I mean, really quick. Because you did one of our last ones. I thought, by the way, that was one of your best takes. I still laugh at that, the Lamar thing. And he got paid 2 days after. And I also feel like sometimes people Google this stuff and they might watch it because we talked about. I was like, look, Jalen Hurts. What makes
right,
you think that you would want to, your deal is? And sure enough, something must have clicked. It's like, man, these two brothers over here must be talking right. Because there's no reason why he should have been asking for X. And there's something clicked, and it's like, well, if Jalen got it, he was an MVP and basically was gonna be Super Bowl MVP, and I didn't do that. I haven't gotten to the AFC Championship game yet. So
right.
I think let me be happy asking for this money. And this was what
Yeah.
happened. And so
And he
he
got one
became
up. I
reasonable.
mean, he got a little
Yeah,
bit guaranteed, but Joe Burrow's going
yeah.
to crush that number and probably Herbert.
And I
But
don't have any problem with the deal he made. None. That's about
oh no,
right. That's fine. That's what he was worth. Fine. Cool.
without an agent, he's gonna, what I'm saying? Like he saved
Be
himself about 10
realistic.
minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Be real, right? 10 minutes, but like be realistic. That's all I was saying. Don't ask for. Deshaun Watson is not a deal in the NFL, really. It's like an alien. And so people are
Mhm.
like, well, Deshaun got it. So I mean, I just hated having conversations with people like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not realistic. And so why are you fighting for something that's not realistic?
Well,
This
and
is
I'll
realistic.
and I'll tell you right now. I mean, we'll give Deshaun a year off.
Yeah, but he
Boy,
better.
he better whoof next year because Cleveland mortgaged literally their future.
Yeah,
Like
they did.
literally, they said all in. Cleveland went all in with, if you buy poker, with a 9 and a 10, right? Like it was like all in. Like, when you're drunk in Vegas, you don't know what you're doing. Like all in,
Yeah.
guys. Like, and you might hit on the river, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm glad. I hope Lamar.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, just to add a little bit more context to it, I don't think they're going to use the wide receivers right now. It's just my opinion. We'll just say it. I just because first off, Odell, I don't even know if first Odell, good for you, 15 million. I mean, wow, good for you. Zay, I really feel bad. I wish you went to a team that actually likes to throw the ball, but you're
Mhm.
there. And Rashard, can you actually stay healthy? But so, and then you have
Yeah.
Mark Andrews. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But the key to them is can their left tackle
Mhm.
Ronnie Stanley, stay
Yeah.
healthy? That's the key because Lamar is not good at. This is one thing Lamar is not good at, and I don't. I don't care what you guys say. Even Josh Allen has this problem, and I'm a big guy. They don't like to get rid of the ball within 3 seconds. Like
Yeah,
sometimes you just got to get rid of the ball. They like to hold the ball, and Joe Burrow's the same way. Just get rid of it real quick. We'll see.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that was a good one. All right, brother. Well, thanks for another good episode. We will talk to you guys in the next week. And if you haven't, subscribe to the thing below. We are definitely trying to keep you guys with some content, and we're loving all the feedback we're getting from folks, even though it's outside of the YouTube. But we appreciate it. Keep it coming, and more things to come from the two of us. So
All
have
right.
have a good night, brother.
Take care. Take care, guys.
Everybody.